I have a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old. So I've been a dad for about 3 years. And I guess that's about a good amount of time to really think about the changes that I've kind of gone through. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about those. So there's 10 of them. The first one is I really stopped being a people pleaser. So before, I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, and even while Natalie was pregnant, I really cared about what people thought. Like anybody, I didn't care about like who they were or what they've accomplished, their life experiences, none of that stuff. I just wanted to please people. I wanted people to like me. So for the longest time, I would say what people wanted to hear, do what people wanted to do, like wanted me to do, say yes to things I didn't really want to say yes to. Just a bunch of stuff like that. And I don't, especially at work, you know, every job, there's smart people, dumb people, people who have the same type of life experiences as you, people who don't have the same type of life experience as you. So all these people, they're not going to react to you. They're not going to be pleased with you because they have their own experiences. And it's a really unreasonable thing to want people to like you and to please these people, because you're not going to be able to do it. And the more you try to please other people, the less of a chance you give yourself to be an authentic human. Man, it's like raining right now. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'll show you guys the background where I'm at. It's a pretty cool area. I live behind this like private land right here. It's kind of cool. You're not really allowed to go up here, but a lot of the kids go dirt biking and stuff up here. So I'm starting to hike up here. It's a pretty cool thing. Man, it's beautiful. I can see the rain falling and the wind picking them up. It's beautiful. After I stopped trying to please everybody, I started developing like an inner confidence in myself. And I felt much more confident and comfortable in my own skin. So there's a lot of insecurities I had, like about my appearance. You know, like I'm an immigrant, so like not a lot of people look like me. Not a lot of people came from where I came. They don't have the same life experiences that I had. So I always felt like an outsider. I always felt like this alien all the time. And the really cool thing is, I still feel like that, but not in a negative way. I feel like that's more of a asset rather than a liability at this point. All right, so the third thing that happened after I became a dad was I really stopped caring about trying to advance at work. I stopped caring about trying to climb up the corporate ladder, because I kind of saw other people doing that. People that were a little bit older than me, people that would have become like I would have become had I gone down that path. And I decided I do not want their life. So that's when I really started focusing and thinking about building my own thing, and started developing skills that I think will help me bring something new to the market, something where I can help people, or where I can give value to people. And this is kind of part of that process. So yeah, I became a lot more entrepreneurial. All right, so this one's also related to the last thing. They all kind of build on each other, and you will kind of see a theme around this. The next thing that happened was I started really developing my priorities, like figuring out what are the things that were really important to me. Now, I used to like walk around with a pocket full of fucks. You know, I'd give a fuck about this, give a fuck about that, give a fuck about basically everything. And quickly you run out of energy. Quickly you run out of like mental space. So once I had my daughter, a lot of those fucks just left my pocket. Like I didn't have a fuck to give about how this person thought, or about this politics, or this basketball team, football team, all this different stuff that didn't matter too much. I just stopped caring about those things. So I started really figuring out the things that were important and starting investing in all of my thinking and time into those things. So I pretty much stopped doing all the frivolous things that I thought I had to do in order to be normal. Because I became kind of like abnormal. I've always been a little weird, but this is even more so. This next one is more like, I used to work out, I used to run, and I used to like lift weights and things like that because I wanted to look good. It was really important for me to have a good appearance. It's really important for me to have clothing, nice shoes, things that showed other people that I was like a classy person of style, I was healthy, all this different stuff. But that also changed after my daughter was born. I started focusing more on like how I felt, like, and if I run, how does it make me feel? If I work out, how does it make me feel? If I eat this stuff, how does it make me feel? I'm kind of out of shape right now, but I'm getting back into shape. But I think my mindset now is not about like looking a certain way, but more of like feeling a certain way, and like where I will be as far as my health 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I want to be there for the long term, because now that I have kids, I want to be there for them as long as I can, and like in a healthy way. The next thing that well, you know what? I already went up here. I'm gonna go down here, I think. I went up there yesterday. So the next thing I really worked on was dealing with childhood issues. So, for a long time, I didn't really need to deal with my like stuff. I mean, everyone has stuff, but I didn't really need to deal with my childhood. I'm not going to go into it right here, but maybe in a different video I'll go into it. But I had a lot of issues, especially with my dad. And after I became a dad, all that stuff just came up, like everything just came out of nowhere, and I had to really deal with it. So I saw a therapist. I started meditating. I started doing a lot of things that really helped me out, and I started processing some of those childhood things, because I don't want those things to like repeat with my daughter and my son. The next thing is, I used to get angry really quickly, and I used to have a huge ego, and it was like pretty fragile. So like whenever someone poked at it, I would have like this big reaction. But now that has really like stopped. My anger issues are no longer like a problem for me. Yeah, so I used to have a lot of anger issues around, a bunch of bullshit. People would just make me angry. And, I thought I was being like a tough person, like a man, by like, giving into those like feelings and like having a reaction whenever I was angry. But now, in the last couple of years, I've like really, really calmed down. I'm starting to like use my logical parts of my brain rather than like my amygdala. So I'm starting to really rely on like self-talk and being patient with things. All right, along with that, my ability to empathize with people has really grown, because now I have these like two little humans in my house. They don't really know how to think about anyone else other than themselves. So when they have like emotional reactions, or when they do things they should be doing, or do things that might not be safe, I gotta really empathize with them, because I can't be logical with these people, because they're little humans. They don't have the structures to deal with logic yet. So I had to really empathize with them and figure out different ways to help them, by also like help them be safe, or help them like regulate their emotions, or think about a scary thought, or all these different things. And I really had to like develop my own sense of empathy and figure that kind of stuff out. All right, two more things. So the next thing that I really improved on and changed was I became a better teacher. So I'm a 7th grade science teacher, and before I was a dad, I was like, the relationship that I had with my students was more of a relationship of like a big brother to a little brothers or sisters. That's a good relationship to have, but now the relationship that I have with the students I have is like more of like a parent to the child. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm their parents or anything, and all the other things, like not caring about how other people think, being able to empathize, all these different things kind of help me become a better teacher too. And I'm starting to realize as I'm like developing more and more as a dad, becoming better and better as a teacher as well. The last thing, I think this is the most important thing, is that I've really figured out everyone has, an inner circle, right? Everyone has like a circle of friends and stuff like that. Now I've really figured out like my circle of friends, a few high quality relationships with high quality people with integrity and values that are similar to me, and things like that, and people that are growing in the same direction that I'm growing. So that's another thing that I've kind of changed and grown towards, is my relationships.